Did you know that your favorite morning fruit could quietly be increasing your risk of a stroke while you sleep? Every year, thousands of older adults wake up with slurred speech dizziness or weakness, never realizing that their healthy fruit habits may be part of the problem. In this video, I'll show you 7 everyday fruits that may raise your stroke risk if eaten the wrong way, and simple changes you can make starting today to protect your brain balance and memory. Don't wait until it's too late. Even one small mistake tonight could set off a chain reaction. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from, and what time is it right now? Type hope in the comments if you're ready to take back control of your health. And if you find this helpful, hit subscribe to catch more simple natural health tips made just for you. Let's dive in. This first fruit might already be on your breakfast table. You know, something strange happens to our bodies once we cross 60. What used to feel fine, a bowl of fruit, a glass of juice, even a banana before bed, suddenly leaves us feeling off. Maybe it's a little dizziness in the morning. Maybe it's brain fog. Or maybe you've woken up once or twice with your heart racing and didn't know why. Let me tell you, it's not your imagination. Our bodies change, quietly, slowly, but deeply. I remember chatting with Mr. Joe, a retired firefighter in Tampa, 73 years old. He told me, "Doc, I've been eating fruit all my life. I walk every day. So why did I end up in the ER with a stroke scare?" It broke his heart and his confidence. But the truth is, what worked in your 40s doesn't always work in your 70s. See, as we get older, our kidneys don't flush things out as fast. Our liver takes longer to break down food and especially medications. That means natural things like potassium from bananas or sugar from grapes can build up in our system. Even healthy foods become risky when they pile up or mix with meds like blood pressure pills, statins, or water tablets. Blood gets thicker when we're slightly dehydrated. Vessels become fragile like old garden hoses in the sun. And all it takes is one clot to block blood to the brain. But don't worry, this isn't about cutting out all fruit. It's about knowing how and when to eat it so your body can handle it. So if you're eating fruit in the evening, try switching to mornings when your circulation is stronger. Always pair fruit with a little protein like nuts or cottage cheese. And most of all, talk to your doctor about any meds you're taking. Because even one small fruit can act like a big trigger if it hits your body at the wrong time. And if this is starting to make sense, I'd love to know, what's your go-to fruit? Type it in the comments and let's talk about it. Because up next, we're going to look at 7 fruits that seem healthy, but could be putting pressure on your brain and heart without you knowing it. Let's keep going. This next one might be sitting on your breakfast table right now. Let's talk about bananas. I know they seem harmless. Soft, sweet, packed with potassium. Most folks think a banana a day keeps the doctor away. But here's something most seniors don't hear often enough. Too much potassium too fast can quietly harm your heart, especially if you're over 60 and taking blood pressure medicine. And especially if your kidneys aren't working like they used to, which is common with age. I once had a conversation with Mr. Raymond, a retired carpenter from Dayton, Ohio. He was 66, healthy, still fixing fences and walking every morning. For over a year, he'd slice 2 bananas into his oatmeal and wash it down with orange juice and his daily meds. He thought he was doing everything right. One morning, his wife found him collapsed in the bathroom. He couldn't move his left side. His words came out slurred. At the hospital, they found he had a minor stroke. And guess what? His potassium levels were dangerously high. Now, here's what many folks don't realize. As we age, our kidneys slow down. They don't flush out minerals like potassium as quickly. If you're also taking ACE inhibitors or water pills, common blood pressure meds, it gets even trickier. That potassium can build up quietly. And when it does, it can mess with your heart rhythm, thicken your blood, and raise your stroke risk. The scary part. You feel fine until you're not. But don't worry, this doesn't mean you have to toss bananas out of your life. It just means we need to get smarter about when and how much we eat. If you love bananas, try this. Instead of 2 big ones, have half a banana in the morning, never at night. and pair it with something like Greek yogurt or a spoon of almond butter. That protein slows down the sugar and potassium so your body can handle it better. Also avoid banana smoothies and banana bread before bed. Those hit your bloodstream fast, and that's when your body's slowing down, not speeding up. According to the Cleveland Clinic, older adults need far less potassium than younger folks, especially those on heart medications. So more isn't always better. It's about balance. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a morning where you felt dizzy or off after a fruit-filled breakfast? If so, let me know in the comments. Just type hope, so I know you're here and thinking about your health. Because sometimes it's not what we eat, but how and when we eat it that matters most. And once we know better, we can do better. Coming up next, we'll take a look at grapes. They look tiny and sweet, but the way they spike blood sugar might surprise you. Stay with me. Your brain will thank you. Now let's talk about grapes. Sweet, juicy, and always sitting pretty in the fruit bowl. They feel innocent, don't they? Like something you'd pop into your mouth while reading the morning paper. But here's the truth that most seniors never hear grapes digest too fast. And that quick sugar rush can quietly do more damage than you think. I remember Jeanette Morris, she's 80 now, retired school teacher from Columbia, Missouri. She always chose fresh fruit over cookies. She'd sit by her kitchen window every morning with a bowl of red grapes watching the news. That was her routine. Healthy, simple, comforting. But one day while writing a birthday card, her vision blurred. Her hands shook. She couldn't remember how to spell the word congratulations. Her daughter took her to the ER fast. It turned out to be a mini stroke, and that was just the beginning. When the doctors looked into it, her labs showed high sugar spikes around midday. Not from candy, not from soda, but from her morning grapes. Her A1C had crept into the pre-diabetic range, and her blood vessels were inflamed. Harvard Health has reported that sugar surges like this, especially from fast-digesting fruits, can irritate the lining of your arteries. That irritation can turn into inflammation. And inflammation? It lays the groundwork for clot formation. You may not feel it, not right away, but those tiny blood vessels, especially the ones that feed your brain, start narrowing. One day that narrowing becomes a block, a clot, and in seconds, everything can change. Now here's what makes grapes especially tricky. They seem small, light, harmless. But just 1 cup of sweet, seedless grapes can deliver a powerful dose of natural sugar fast. And if you're eating them on an empty stomach or while dehydrated, tired, or stressed, it's like sending that sugar straight into your bloodstream without breaks. So what can you do? You don't need to stop eating grapes entirely, but moderation matters. Try eating just a small handful, maybe 5 or 6 grapes, and always pair them with something that slows sugar absorption. A few almonds, a slice of cheese, a spoon of Greek yogurt. And never ever eat them at night or when your body's winding down. Your brain needs stability, not surprises, especially during the night when your blood pressure dips and circulation slows. And here's something you can try today. Next time you reach for grapes, ask yourself, am I hungry or just bored? Could I add a little protein to this snack? If this helps you think differently about snacking, let me know in the comments. Just type hope, so I know you're here and listening. Because once we understand how even healthy foods affect us differently with age, we start making better choices. Not harder ones, just smarter ones. And in a moment, we'll move on to a tropical favorite, pineapple. It may surprise you how it affects your blood at night. You won't want to miss this next part. Mistake number 3 might surprise you. It's pineapple. Yes, the golden tropical favorite from Florida farmers markets to Hawaiian cruise buffets. It looks cheerful, smells sweet, and feels like vacation. But for some seniors, eating pineapple at the wrong time can quietly stir up real trouble. Take Mrs. Clara Hughes. She's 77 lives just outside Charleston, South Carolina. She loves quilting sweet iced tea, and every evening after dinner, she had a habit. 2 slices of chilled pineapple. Said it helped her end the day on a sweet note. But one morning last spring, she didn't wake up feeling rested. She felt dizzy, slurred her words. Her daughter called 911. It turned out Clara had experienced a mild stroke during the early morning hours. No warning, no chest pain, no big event, just a silent storm while she slept. Now here's what the doctors found interesting. Her blood pressure spiked overnight. Her blood was slightly thinner than normal. And her acid reflux, which she never took seriously, was flaring up at night. What was the one thing she changed that week? She had added pineapple to her dinner routine, thinking it was a healthier dessert. But the truth is, pineapple carries a triple punch. It's high in natural sugar, acidic, and contains bromelain. Bromelain is an enzyme found in pineapple that's known to thin the blood slightly. According to the National Institutes of Health, that's not always a problem unless you're already on blood thinners, aspirin, or have fragile blood vessels. At night, when your body slows down, eating acidic, sugary fruit like pineapple can irritate the lining of your stomach, raise blood sugar, and even cause nighttime blood pressure surges. That pressure paired with thin blood becomes a risky mix, especially for the brain's small vessels. So what's the fix? You don't have to give up pineapple entirely, but it's best to enjoy it in the middle of the day with lunch. Stick to a small serving, just about half a cup, and never eat it on an empty stomach or close to bedtime. Instead, pair it with something high in protein, like cottage cheese plain yogurt or a few walnuts. This slows digestion, buffers the acidity, and helps your blood sugar stay steady. And if you're taking any kind of blood thinner, be extra cautious. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about whether pineapple is safe for you. Have you ever noticed more heartburn at night after fruit-type pineapple? In the comments, if this sounds familiar, I'd love to know. Because small changes like switching your fruit to lunchtime can protect your brain, your sleep, and your independence. You deserve to feel safe in your own body at night. And in just a moment, we'll look at a fruit many folks think is harmless, but when dried, it might be worse than a candy bar. You won't believe what raisins can do to your blood vessels. Stay with me. You're doing great. The fourth fruit seems harmless, even hydrating, but it can fool you. It's watermelon. Yep, our sweet summer friend, the bright red slice that's everywhere from July 4th picnics to roadside stands in Georgia. Most folks think watermelon helps you stay hydrated. After all, it's 90% water, right? But here's the truth for some older adults, especially those on water pills, it can do the opposite. Let me tell you about Mr. Howard. He's 82 lives just outside of Mesa, Arizona. Always active, always polite. Loves his crossword puzzles and taking walks in the neighborhood when it cools down. Last summer, after mowing the lawn, he came inside and sliced up a big bowl of chilled watermelon. He said it was refreshing as rain on desert dirt. He didn't know it would land him in the ER by nightfall. You see, Howard had taken his usual water pill that morning. He'd been prescribed a diuretic to keep his blood pressure steady. But watermelon has a natural diuretic effect too. It makes your kidneys push more fluid out. That afternoon, he started to feel lightheaded. His mouth was dry, his legs cramping. By dinner, he couldn't focus on his crossword. His daughter noticed he wasn't making sense. They rushed him to the hospital and the doctor said it straight. He was severely dehydrated. His blood had become too concentrated. His blood pressure had dropped. He had a minor stroke. It sounds strange, doesn't it? But according to Mayo Clinic, dehydration in older adults can sneak up fast, especially when you're on medication that pulls water from the body. Even foods that seem hydrating like watermelon can tip things over if you're not balancing your salts and fluids. And as we age, the body doesn't regulate fluid as efficiently. You may not even feel thirsty until it's too late. So what should you do? You don't have to give up watermelon completely, but timing and balance matter. The safest time to enjoy it is before 3 p.m. when your body is still active and has time to process the fluids. Keep the portion modest, maybe a cup or two. And here's a simple trick from my grandma in North Carolina. Sprinkle just a tiny pinch of sea salt on the watermelon. Not too much, just enough to help your body retain essential electrolytes. Another good option, Pair it with a little coconut water or a handful of salted almonds. These help balance potassium and sodium, keeping your heart and brain safe. If you're on a diuretic or medications for high blood pressure, let your doctor know if you're eating lots of watery fruits. Sometimes it's the little things like a fruit salad at the wrong time that can throw off your whole system. Have you ever felt woozy after a summer snack? Let me know in the comments if watermelon ever made you feel off. You're not alone. Because at this stage in life, it's not just about avoiding illness. It's about protecting the quality of every day. Feeling clear-headed, staying safe at home, enjoying that evening TV show without worrying about a dizzy spell. And next up, we'll talk about a fruit that shrinks your brain's hydration, but not in the way you'd think. It's tiny, it's dried, and it hides in trail mix. Stay with me, friend. We're just getting started. The fifth mistake might surprise you. It's something so many seniors do with love and routine. They wake up, shuffle to the kitchen, grab their morning pills, and pour a glass of orange juice to wash them down. Seems healthy, right? Vitamin C, a fresh start to the day. But here's the problem: that little glass might be interfering with your medicine in ways you never imagined. Let me tell you about Mr. Elmer. He's 79, lives in Tallahassee, Florida. A kind man. Used to be a school bus driver. He starts every day the same way: 2 toast slices, 1 scrambled egg, a statin for cholesterol, a pill for blood pressure, and a cold glass of orange juice. He said it helped him feel alive. Until one morning he woke up dizzy and off balance. His wife noticed his speech was slightly slurred. They called 911. At the ER, they found out he'd had a minor stroke. It wasn't from skipping meds. He was taking them faithfully. But the orange juice, that was the problem. You see, oranges, especially the juice, contains something called furanocoumarin. Now, I know that sounds like science class, but stay with me here. That compound messes with how your liver breaks down certain medications, especially statins and blood pressure pills. Instead of your medicine being processed the way it should, the juice causes it to either build up too much in your body or not work at all. That's not just from me, it's from the FDA. They've issued clear warnings about citrus and drug interactions. It's not just grapefruit. Orange juice, especially in concentrated form, can cause these silent medication misfires. Now imagine this happening every morning, every week. Your medicine isn't doing what it's supposed to, but you don't feel it until your body gives you a wake-up call, like it did for Mr. Elmer. So what can you do? First, don't panic. You don't have to give up oranges forever, but it's best not to take your pills with orange juice. Water is still the safest, always has been. And if you miss the tangy flavor in the morning, here's a gentle swap. Try a warm glass of water with a few drops of fresh lemon. It gives a little kick, helps your digestion, and doesn't interfere with your meds. Talk with your doctor or pharmacist too, especially if you're taking statins, calcium channel blockers, or heart medications. Even something as small as a juice can change how well they work. Have you ever taken your pills with juice before? Let me know in the comments if that was your morning habit. I know for many folks it's just what they've always done. But just like we switched from bacon grease to olive oil, or moved from rotary phones to cell phones, this is one of those small upgrades that can protect your life, because your liver works hard for you every day. Let's not give it more trouble than it needs. You deserve medicine that works as it should. And you deserve mornings that start light and safe, not with hidden risk in a glass. In the next section, we'll talk about a tiny fruit, one that most folks think of as heart healthy, but it might be giving your bladder the wrong kind of workout. Stick with me. We're almost at the finish line. Mistake number 6 might sound innocent, but it can be dangerous if you are not careful. It's about apples. Yes, apples. The same fruit we've all grown up believing keeps the doctor away. But not all apples are created equal, and how you eat them makes a big difference, especially as we get older. Let me tell you about Miss Louise. She's 81, lives in Asheville, North Carolina. Every afternoon around 4 o'clock, she'd sit on her porch swing with a book in one hand and a big Honeycrisp apple in the other. She loved the crunch, the sweetness. It reminded her of her dad's orchard in Vermont. But one afternoon, something felt off. She stood up, got dizzy, and stumbled. Her daughter said she slurred a few words. Turns out her blood sugar had spiked and crashed within the hour. That apple, while natural, had more sugar than she realized. You see, today's sweet apple varieties like Honeycrisp or Fuji have been bred to taste amazing, but they pack in a surprising amount of sugar. According to the USDA, some of these apples can have more than 19 grams of sugar. That's more than a glazed donut. Now, for younger folks, that might not be a big deal, but as we age, our body doesn't manage blood sugar as smoothly. And for those of us on medications or managing blood pressure or balance issues, a big sugar swing can lead to confusion, weakness, even a fall. So what can we do? Well, apples aren't the enemy, but choosing the right kind and the right time to eat them can make all the difference. If you love apples, go for a Granny Smith. They're tart, lower in sugar, and don't spike your blood sugar the way sweeter apples do. And here's another gentle tip: never eat an apple on an empty stomach. Instead, pair it with something that slows digestion, like a spoonful of almond butter or a slice of cheddar cheese. That little bit of fat and protein helps balance the sugar hit and keeps your energy steady. I sometimes ask folks, when was the last time an apple made you feel tired? And they laugh because they never thought about it that way. But just like how we learned not to drink coffee too late, we can learn how and when to enjoy fruit without the crash. The goal isn't to stop eating apples. It's to eat them in a way that supports your body so you stay steady, sharp, and safe. Because that's the kind of wisdom that comes with age. It's not about eating less. It's about eating smarter. And that starts with knowing your body and knowing that even something as simple as an apple deserves a second look. Coming up next, we'll explore one surprising fruit that's 90% water, yet it might actually leave you dehydrated. Stick around, this one's a twist. The seventh fruit mistake might surprise you because it's about something that seems incredibly healthy. Cherries. Tart, sweet, loaded with antioxidants. Sounds like a smart choice, right? Well, that depends, especially if you're taking aspirin or blood thinners. Let me tell you about Mr. Daniel. He's 84 lives just outside Cleveland, Ohio. A retired school principal, sharp as a tack and always up before the sun. He read online that tart cherries reduce inflammation and help you sleep. So every night before bed, he'd eat a bowl, sometimes fresh, sometimes dried, and now and then a bit of cherry juice. He thought he was doing everything right. But about 2 weeks in, something went wrong. One morning, he woke up with a pounding headache and blurred vision. His wife rushed him to the ER. Turns out Daniel was taking low-dose aspirin for his heart, and those cherries, they were acting like a second blood thinner. Harvard Health points out that cherries, especially tart ones, contain compounds that naturally thin the blood. That's good news if you're not on medication. But if you're already taking aspirin, warfarin, or other anticoagulants, it can tip the balance too far. Too thin, and you're at risk for internal bleeding or worse, a brain hemorrhage. Now, here's what most folks don't realize. It's not just the fresh fruit. Cherry concentrate juice, or those dark cherry capsules you see in health stores, they're even stronger. Just a small serving can shift your blood chemistry more than you think. But that doesn't mean cherries are bad. They're still one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory foods. They help with joint pain, gout, even sleep quality. You just need to treat them with care, like a supplement, not a snack. So what's the simple fix? If you're on aspirin or any medication that affects blood clotting, limit yourself to just a few cherries at a time. Maybe 5 or 6, and not every single night. Skip the concentrated juice unless your doctor says it's okay. And if you're not sure, ask your pharmacist. They'll often know even more than your doctor about drug-food interactions. You might be wondering, but it's just fruit, how can it be dangerous? Well, our bodies change with age. What used to be harmless can become risky when mixed with medications, even natural foods. But here's the good news. You're not helpless and you're not stuck. Once you know what to look out for, it's easy to adjust. And those little changes, they protect you without taking away your favorite things. Health, especially in our golden years, isn't about saying no to everything. It's about saying yes more wisely. Coming up next, we'll talk about one fruit that might feel refreshing on a hot afternoon, but could actually leave you more dehydrated than before. Stick around, you won't want to miss it. The final tip today isn't about what to avoid, it's about what to enjoy more often. Because let's face it, sometimes the world tells us what not to eat, but we rarely hear what we should be eating, especially once we cross 60. So let me walk you through 5 fruits that are gentle on your body, supportive of your meds, and actually help you age better. I'll start with blueberries. Tiny, yes, but packed with power. My friend Carol in Vermont 68 calls them her brainberries. She sprinkles them on her oatmeal every morning. And no surprise, Harvard School of Public Health found that blueberries may help protect blood vessels in the brain and reduce memory decline. They also calm inflammation, which means less joint stiffness and better heart health. Then there's the humble green apple. Not the super sweet Honeycrisps I'm talking about, Granny Smith. These apples are tart, crisp, and surprisingly low in sugar. They don't spike your blood sugar, and they're rich in flavonoids, those plant compounds that protect your heart and help your cells fight off damage. My Uncle George in Kansas swaps his afternoon cookie for half a green apple and a slice of cheddar cheese. He swears it keeps him steady till dinner. Now let's talk avocados. I know technically they're a fruit and a strange one at that, but they're rich in healthy fats that help control blood pressure. The potassium in avocados supports heart rhythm and lowers stroke risk, and you can mash them onto whole grain toast or add a few slices to a salad. Simple, satisfying, and heart smart. Lemon or lime is another favorite. Just a squeeze into warm water in the morning can help your liver gently detox and wake up digestion. Unlike grapefruit or orange juice, lemon doesn't mess with your medications. It's like a little sunshine in your cup. And last, pomegranate. Rich red color, juicy and sweet, but go easy on the amount. Drink just a splash of diluted juice or enjoy a few seeds tossed into yogurt. It supports heart health, but too much can affect blood sugar if you're not careful. So portion is key. None of these fruits are fancy. They're not exotic, expensive, or hard to find. You'll see them right in your local grocery store, from Florida to California, from Texas to Minnesota. So the next time you're reaching for something sweet, ask yourself, is this fruit feeding my body the way it needs at my age? You might find that just one small change, like swapping a cookie for berries, can ripple into better days ahead. And speaking of small changes, in our next segment, I'll share a bedtime habit that helps you sleep deeper without touching a single pill. You don't want to miss it. Now here's something many seniors don't realize until it starts messing with their mornings. Fruit, even the healthy kind, can work against you if you eat it the wrong way. I remember chatting with Mrs. Eleanor, 72, from Asheville, North Carolina. She loved her morning banana, ate it right out of bed on an empty stomach, thought she was doing the right thing. But then came the dizzy spells. Her hands would tremble. She thought it was just old age. Turned out the fruit was spiking her blood sugar, then crashing it hard. See, at our age, things work a little differently. What felt fine in our 40s might feel too much in our 70s, especially if you're already on medications for blood pressure, sugar, or cholesterol. That's why timing, portions, and pairing are everything. If you're hungry, fruit shouldn't be the first thing in your belly. It's like throwing gasoline on a small fire. It burns quick and then disappears. Instead, try pairing your fruit with a little protein or fat. Half an apple with almond butter, a few grapes with a piece of cheddar. That slows down how fast your body absorbs the sugar. It keeps your energy steady, not shaky. And don't overdo the portion. Most folks think a bowl of fruit is healthy no matter what. But for older adults, even natural sugar in large amounts can throw things off. Stick to about 1 cup of fresh fruit at a time, and always spread it through the day, never a big fruit feast in one sitting. Oh, and this one's important, avoid fruit after 7 p.m. Yes, even that little bowl of melon before bed. Late-night fruit can mess with your digestion and blood sugar while you sleep. You may not feel it, but your body knows. And it could be the reason you're waking up groggy or foggy. Now, what if you're already doing your best and something still feels off? If you notice things like morning dizziness, headaches that come and go, your hands shake when you're trying to button your shirt, or your words feel slow or slurred, don't ignore it. That's not just age. That's your body asking for help. Tell your doctor what you're eating and when, especially if you're on medications and eating fruit daily. Ask them to recheck your A1C or your liver function. Even healthy foods can shift how your meds work. Harvard Health actually published a note on how natural foods can act like blood thinners, especially when paired with medication. So it's worth looking into. Here's the good news: small tweaks go a long way. You don't have to give up fruit. Just respect it. Time it right. Pair it smart. Listen to your body. And if something feels strange, don't wait. Speak up, because aging doesn't mean suffering. It means learning to care for your body like an old beloved car, with patience, attention, and love. Stick with me, because in the next part, we'll talk about one evening habit that helps protect your brain and your blood vessels. Simple, free, and it might surprise you. So, my friend, I hope today's talk reminded you that it's not just what we eat, but how and when we eat it that truly makes a difference, especially as we get older. Small shifts done with care can bring big peace to your body. If something we shared today helped you or made you think differently, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below, maybe share your favorite takeaway, or just type the word HOPE. It's a simple word, but it carries so much strength. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, tap the little bell so you don't miss the next episode, and feel free to share this video with a friend, a sister, or anyone you care about. Until next time, stay kind to yourself. Like a garden in spring, your body still knows how to heal. It just needs a little sunshine, a little patience, and a whole lot of love.